What's up, y'all? Thank you for returning for episode 3 of my podcast. Today we have Terrell Yuja, who also goes by the name of Relex. He is a writer, producer, film director, actor, music artist, and now illustrator. Please welcome Terrell. Terrell, what's up, man?
What's up? How's it
Nothing,
going?
nothing much, working. Same old, doing this, follow my dreams. Same as you, man.
Yeah. Proud of you.
I'm proud of you too. So you're a writer, producer, film director, actor, music artist, and now you're an illustrator.
Yes.
How do you do it all? How do you do it all?
I really don't know sometimes. I think this is like the first year where I've like really sat with that question, like, how have I been doing it all? And I think it like really requires like a lot of sacrifice because I can literally like watch a lot of my life. Just by pulling up a YouTube video, like checking out a vlog or watching a film that I did for that year. It's gotten so bad to where I literally remember the year based on the film that I made. So
when did you start your YouTube? When did you start that?
I started it 2015, so my senior year of high school.
Right.
Yeah.
So what inspired you to start producing films, and when did you first realize that's what you wanted to do?
That's a great question. So it started with my YouTube channel. So me and my friend Devion, our senior year, we were just joking around saying, it'd be cool if like we actually documented our whole senior year. And I thought it was crazy at first, but we really started to talk about it, think about it, discuss it. And then we did it. Starting in September all the way to the end of May, we documented our whole senior year, and that's my first official film, even though I don't really claim it all like that because it's not my best work, but it's still very impressive that I can literally go back and watch my whole senior year. So that's where it all started. And but even before that, like YouTube is what got me in the door with learning cameras, learning how to market myself, build an audience, and talk to people. I used to do vlogs again. I used to travel and do vlogs. I used to do reaction videos, all that type stuff. And somehow it got me to where I am today.
Just got to movies.
Yeah, got to movies and music.
So tell us about your first production and how do you feel about it now?
Ooh, like my first short film?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's it's kind of a loaded question because my first short film I tried to make from 2016 all the way to 2019 when I actually realized that idea, which is crazy. But I tried 3 times before to get it made, and every time it failed. But finally, in 2019, I found the right cast, and God sent Jalen Spencer, my DP, into my life out of nowhere. Like, it was me just like desperate, looking for someone that was serious, that, had skill with the camera. And I remember I DM'd him, and I was like, man, I forgot what I said, but I was like, would you be interested in doing this project? And it was like 24 hours, and I got no reply from him. So I believe I unsent the message. And then the next day, he texted me like, no, I would love to do it and everything. And 8 films later, we're here. But yeah, back to your question, like my first film, I will always be proud of it because, again, it took so long to make. It was an idea in my head since 2016. I realized in 2019. Now, in contrast to where I'm at now, it's definitely not my best. But I always tell people you always have to get that first one out of the way because it's not going to be your best work, but you're not going to do more if you don't get the first one done. So,
right.
Yeah, I'm happy.
We're all students.
Yes.
So many film creators face many roadblocks.
Mm-hmm.
Which ones did you face?
Man, hearing no a lot, or just people simply not, responding. Like when I would ask, like, "Hey, would you be down to be in this film?" or "Would you watch my film?" "Would you support my film?" I just got a lot of no's. A lot of people didn't take me serious. I'll never forget, like. Me and Devion we were hanging out somewhere at one of our friends' house, and we were saying how we would love for this person to be in our project. And this other person said that person thought that like we were a joke, like he didn't take us serious. And I just remember how that made me feel. I felt so small and defeated, but yeah, you're gonna deal with like a lot of rejection, a lot of no's, and it's gonna be hard to keep going. But um, every famous person always says like, if you want to make it in an industry, you have to be okay with no's and not care what people say. And I've really formed thick skin when it comes to that. Like, uh, yeah, I formed thick skin. Like when people say no or they're not interested, it doesn't really define me. It doesn't like stop me from like continuing or whatever. But yeah, it hurts though when you're first starting.
It
Yeah.
does, yeah. It's, but do you feel yourself slowly progressing, like each film that you make every,
Yes, I definitely do, cause I'm definitely my hardest critic. So someone could say, "Oh, this film is awesome." I'm always looking. Now, I don't self-harm myself though. So what that means is like I'm not going to just sit and nitpick everything wrong, because I think that that's not a good way to go about things either. I believe in us being our first friend. So I would like to talk to myself how I would talk to a friend. So I'll be like, well, this is really good, but this needs some work, but this is good. So like a compliment sandwich. So yeah, I feel like with each film, you see the progression. You see I've gotten better with my pen, like with writing. You see my direction getting better with me, better knowing how to get performances out of the actors. You see the actors' performances getting better. Of course, like even Jalen, like you see our first film, Remember Me, to the one that's going to be releasing soon.
we're gonna talk about that, yeah.
You just see the progress, like storytelling wise, his camera work, the audio quality has has improved by a long shot, performances, everything. So yeah.
Which film so far has like the best picture, like the best like this is a movie? Is it the most recent one that we did, or
what do you mean?
So like what, the most clarity.
The
like,
most clarity.
You feel like this is a film, like this is your best work.
Ooh. Well, unpopular opinion. I think a lot of people, like everyone that knows me or knows of me, they always come up to me talking about Without Love. That was my first feature film that released last year. A lot of people think that that's my best work. I am very proud of it, but I do not think it's my best work. I actually think my best work so far, because the next thing hasn't released yet, so we're not going to. But right now, because I'm a firm believer that I get better with each film. So I think my best work is my most underrated film to date that came out around Valentine's Day this year, titled Our Last Notice, starring Ariana and Jalen. I think it's my best work because it's so simple but powerful. It's simply about a girl that's 24, about to turn 25 at midnight, and she's torn between, is she going to, pay her rent and settle for this mundane life that's not fulfilling to her, or if she's going to use her rent money to literally up and leave this mundane life to chase her dream like she promised she would when she turned 25. So I think that that's so relatable because I was 25 when I wrote it. And I know a lot of people our age that are trying to do what we do, like they think about stuff like that all the time. Like, should I play it safe even though I'm not going to be satisfied, or should I take that risk and, risk it all? So that's my favorite. I think the audio is great on it. Jalen's shots were beautiful. My direction, I'm not trying to hype myself up, but I think
this is the time. This is the time. Like,
I think my direction was good and performances were very good. I think it's an A quality film. That's what I would say.
Who are some of your favorite directors and producers?
That's a great question. I think my favorite director as of right now, because it does change, I think right now is John Singleton. He's what I want to be, I feel, in the film space. I love how not only does he have great characters and stories, but his settings, like the locations, are a part of the story just as equally. Like I love Poetic Justice. Baby Boy is a good film as well. I just love like how California has such an identity in his films, just like the characters.
Do you know he did Michael Jackson's Remember the Time? He directed that?
No, I didn't.
Remember my baby. Do you remember, girl? On the phone, you and me. Till dawn, till 3. What about us, girl? Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. In the park, on the beach, you and me in Spain.
It's starting to glow.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's an all-black cast. That's what he and Michael wanted.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you watch behind the scenes, you'll see him giving direction and stuff and all that. But
Okay.
I'm sure he did other music videos too.
Yeah.
But since I'm a big MJ fan, that just stuck out, and I just know he's part of that production.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
dope.
So, what is your process for beginning a new film? What's the very first thing that you do?
The first thing is it comes to me in a dream. People are like, how do you just make these films like that, like back to back? How do you get the stories? They always come to me in a dream first. And usually, like I always say, like our dream is like our subconscious speaking. So it's always relevant to what I'm going through in life at the time. So what I'll do is I'll take my notebook, jot down like my ideas, like the dream. And then I'll go into outlining. Outlining looks like plotting it out into 8 points. So I use the 8-arc story structure made famous by Dan Harmon. It's basically like how I map out a film from start to finish. And then once I have that, if it's a feature film, I might even move into the 15 beat sheet, Save the Cat. Like it breaks it down even more, the idea. But for short films, I just use the 8-arc structure. So after I outline, I start to work on the first draft. After the first draft, I like to send it to friends, close family, for them to check it out, get their opinions, then do draft 2, and then finalize.
Is this all self-taught, or did you go to any school?
This is self-taught, yeah. Read a lot of books over the years. Devion really helped me early on with learning how to write. Because I used to be like terrified to do it. I would have the idea. I had that first part of like the dream, the idea. Then I would send it over to her. I'm like, all right, you write it because I can't do it.
Yeah.
But eventually I got comfortable and I did it. So yeah, that's my process. And then I go to recruiting. Like, I'm like, okay, who could play this part? Yeah.
So what is the hardest part of making a film? What comes easy to you?
So the easy part, I would say, is the writing part. I actually love pre-production. I love writing the script. I love the table reads and like getting to know like the new talent, as well as like if we have people that have worked with me before, I love bringing them back and seeing where they are now and how they're going to improve. So I love pre-production. That's my favorite part. The hardest part, and people laugh at me when I say it, but I mean it. Like the hardest part for me in filmmaking is production. So production is the middle. You have you have production, then you have post-production. Production is when you are shooting the film. And that's the hardest part because you're dealing with people's schedules. You worked with me long nights.
Yeah.
You don't know when it's going to end sometimes.
I just make sure that I'm not doing nothing else.
Yes, you got to.
Because it's
Yeah.
long.
Yes.
It's long, but at the end, it's magic.
Yes, it's worth it in
Yeah.
the end. And then like you're dealing, like God forbid you're doing a film outside. So you're dealing with weather and people. They see a camera. They're like, oh, what you doing? Oh, what? And then the cops, every
Yeah.
film there's always a cop, it seems.
Yeah, it's always someone being nosy. Like
Yeah.
they're always being nosy. Like
Yeah.
just go on.
Yeah, so that's the hardest part. I enjoy it, but it can be hard. Yeah.
If you could choose, what is your favorite film you created?
All right, so it's not my best film, but what was my favorite to make? Honestly, I think my favorite film that we made was Without Love. It was a lot of fun. Like, it definitely took a long time. It took us like 2-3 months to shoot that film. But it was a lot of fun. Every Sunday, like we were just meeting up, shooting that film, and I got to know people on a deeper level. It definitely helped me grow as a filmmaker because I was acting in it as well. I love the story. I love the characters in that film and story. So yeah, that was the most fun film that I made, the one I enjoyed most.
Neighborhood curfew in effect until 4 a.m. Sunday.
4 a.m. I need to file a complaint. Can you hear me?
Where's Drew? Have you finally ditched him?
Remember this for me, Drew. Can't love nobody unless you love yourself.
All right, so who is your favorite person to work on set?
Ooh, who's my favorite person to work with?
Like, favorite, like it could
Oh,
be
that's-
the assistant director, anybody.
Oh.
Who's like
that I've worked with?
your right hand man? Yeah, so far.
Oh, that's gonna hurt feelings. Well, to play it safe, let me say Jalen.
Jay-Z.
I'm gonna say
without
Jay-
him, there ain't no
Exactly, yeah.
movie. So
Without Jalen, yeah. Jalen literally is like, he's like my piece on set. Cause like when I'm getting like going insane, freaking out over little stuff, I can always look over to my right and he's chill, he's calm, and he's just ready for us to power through and get it done. So
and I noticed
Yeah.
on set that if you have trouble directing, the actors jump in and start giving out ideas too,
Yeah.
and you just let them,
mhm.
you know, test it out, and then you'll see if
Yeah.
That's what I
Yeah.
noticed on set. Like,
Not
Yeah.
everyone's like that either. Not every director would be like that, but for me, I do value everyone's opinion. Even if you don't end up seeing it in the finished product, I always like to see what other people are thinking because it might end up in the film. It might be exactly what we needed. So, yeah.
so I believe a couple of years ago, one of your films won an award at is it Ohio Film Festival?
Yep. Ohio Film Fest.
How did you feel at that moment when you realized that you won?
I felt great. I just felt that it was God telling me that this is what I'm supposed to do. Because what's funny is before that, before like even the film festival, I was like, God, I just need a sign that I'm still supposed to do this because film costs so much money, costs a lot of time. And again, like I was still like around that time, people still didn't take me serious. People still thought like, you know, they just brushed me off. They didn't take me serious. I think it was me winning that film festival that really pivoted me to where people started to take me more serious. But yeah, before I was like, man, I just need a sign. Then I won. It was audience choice too. So people voted for us to win. So that
It
meant
was
a lot.
Save the Date.
Yeah, save the date.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can you tell us about your first movie premiere? How'd that go? How did
It literally, and like to this day, it felt like I was just like floating on a cloud the whole day. If there was any such thing as a perfect day, I think it was that. I have nothing but great memories from that day. I just felt overwhelming peace that day and just joy, like to really see like my work on the big screen. And not only that, but you know, all of us dressed in the part because I believe like you dress for where you want to go. So all of us like dressing so well and the biggest thing, like the live audience, to see people come out, buy a ticket, support, and all of that. That day will always mean the world to me. Yeah.
when you showcase your work? Does it even feel like amazing when you hear the audience laughing and stuff? Like it's just like I knew that part's gonna be funny.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. It feels great.
Yeah, because here when I'll be making those skits and stuff, and they play it for the whole school, they just be dying. And I'll just
It's the
yeah.
best feeling. It's the worst though when they laugh at a part when you don't want them to laugh. Like
And then they miss the part that's actually funny. Like be
Yes.
quiet, yeah.
this
Yeah.
happened with Without Love last year at the premiere. I cringed myself because my character, when Anthony's character Sid dies in the hallway, my character turns around and says, no. And I'm like, And everyone started laughing. I'm like, that's
Yeah.
not supposed to be funny.
Because I think I know we're gonna talk about this in a bit, but I'm just gonna say it now. The part where I run up to, I don't want to spoil it, but the first when I enter the camera, I think that's when everyone's gonna laugh at the movie preview.
Yeah.
As soon as I get to the car, like,
Yes.
it's
It was a mess.
I'll keep watching the Rush Draft. That's just, man. All right. What advice do you have for future filmmakers?
Don't give up and keep going. Liana's dad, actually, the Gumbo dude, shout out to him. If you like Gumbo, check his food truck out. He's featured in our film Without Love. He's the one that instilled that in me. Years ago, like he just, like in every post I would make with film, he would always put at the end, keep going. And like now I spread that to everyone I know that wants to do anything creative, anything where you're going to have haters try to tell you that you're not good or you can't do this or that, or like to critique your stuff down to the bone. Like, keep going, because eventually you're going to like be good at it. Eventually those same people are going to be the ones that are going to want to be in your productions, which has happened with me, but I won't put any names out there.
Ooh, he's talking to y'all.
Hey, I'm talking to somebody. I'm just playing.
All right, let's switch gears here to another piece of art, music. How'd you get started with that?
Yes. So music, I've always been interested in music. Back in middle school, I actually had a band. We were called Unlegible. That's not even a word, but we came up with it. Yeah. So I did that for a couple of years. I did that from 7th to 8th grade. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, I guess like once high school came, I literally like left music all the way in the background. Well, actually not, I'm lying. I went to Career Center for audio production. But yeah, I wasn't one of the students that was making music and all that. But I guess what got me back into music was we went through 2020, which was a very hard year. And toward the end of 2020, believe it or not, I actually gave up on film. I was done with it. Like something really bad happened and I was done with film, but I still had stories that I wanted to tell. I still had life experiences that I wanted to share. So I was thinking like what can I do to get this out of me? And music came up and I just started writing. At first I'm like, how do you write a song? And I looked on YouTube. I tried to read books, articles, all that to do it. And eventually I just did it. And I came out with my first EP the following year, 2021, titled Invitation. And yeah, it just follows my journey of putting myself back out there, dating, getting my heart broken over something stupid, and then coming out triumphant with Self-Love with my track Party's Over, which is my most streamed song. So yeah.
Did you start with film or music first?
Well, when I was little, me and my sister, like with our neighborhood friends, like I would pick up a camera and try to like shoot little stories and stuff. Me and my cousins on the weekend, like we would do a little show and all that for YouTube. So I would say like my video stuff was before music, but yeah.
What inspires you to start writing music?
Yeah, 2020.
2020.
Yeah, because I had I feel like it was like my first time. Well, it was my first time like being in a relationship as an adult versus like being like in high school or whatever. I was in a relatively serious relationship back in 2020, and you know, there were highs and there were lows, and eventually like the lows resulted in the relationship ending, and around that time film was ending too, because a film that I was working on didn't finish, and I was devastated. I was just ready to just give up on everything. I was like high key depressed. But yeah, music is what like saved me. It's what helped me get out how I was feeling and translate it, you know, into music basically. So yeah, like
Was that film that didn't get completed? Did it get completed, or you just wrote something else?
It got completed but didn't get completed. So I
Oh.
say that to say, like, I did end up releasing it, but it's not its full work. That film was actually supposed to be my first feature film, but we didn't finish it. So the version that I released is in black and white, and it's only like 15, 16 minutes long.
Okay.
The film was supposed to be an hour 30. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I just couldn't release. I mean, we got like 45 minutes done of the film, but the cliffhanger was too big for me to have released it. So I'm like, let me just turn this into a short film. So that's what I did, and yeah.
I meant to ask you earlier.
Mhm.
You started your own movie production company.
Yeah.
How did you come up with the name 101 Avenue?
Thank you for asking. It's paying homage to like my start in all this, because when I started YouTube back in 2015, my name was Terrell 101. I didn't want my last name out there because, you know, there's creeps out there. But now I'm repping my last name, my full name. But back then, yeah, it was Terrell 101. And then it snowballed because after high school, I formed a 101 crew, which consisted of me, my friend Devion, Deja, and a couple other of our friends. An avenue comes from me wanting like my business to feel like a community type thing, to where like everyone's welcomed, everyone is invited to be a part of this. So
What's your
Just bring
slogan
those
for
two.
it?
Create together.
Creativity.
Yeah.
Who are your musical inspirations?
Ooh.
You can name like 4.
Honestly, it's changing. It's changed drastically actually this year. I think it's because I'm getting older. It used to really be The Weeknd, and you're gonna hate me because I know you're a big Weeknd fan. I wasn't impressed with Don FM.
The album, yeah, he needs to stick to his R&B roots, I believe, but it's creativity. It's like you're listening to the radio in the 80s.
Yeah.
That was his like objective of that album, is to bring back, synth waves and
Yeah.
all that stuff. And
I mean, don't get me wrong. There's some good tracks on it, but it's like, man,
It just-
Starboy,
nah,
My Dear Melancholy.
Star Wars
those
is
are-
his worst album.
Oh, I need to go.
His worst album.
Oh,
But
no.
My Dear Melancholy, I remember it came out and it was
Uh.
just like, what? It was like, what? Like the album was just crazy when it came
Like
out.
in a good way, or?
It was a good way.
I'm like-
Yeah, good way.
Oh man, I felt personally attacked.
Nah, good way. It's I wanted that to continue
Yeah, I did too.
to go, and then he
Yes.
did After Hours, and then that was amazing too. You didn't like that album?
It was okay. I'm just hoping this new one is better. I still
it's
respect
complete.
him.
He's completing the trilogy, so
Yeah.
it's gonna be.
Maybe I'll give him
Yeah.
another chance. But I mean, yeah, so like, if you check my music out, like I'm listed as a pop artist. So like that's what I like. I grew up with that. I like R&B as well. Khalid's one of my favorite artists as well.
Khalid Uchis or Khalid?
Khalid, like Location.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I like him. Destin Conrad is one of my favorite artists right now. Lord, believe it or not. I know people are like, what, Lord?
I only know one song by her.
Her albums are very good. They're like masterpieces. The last one, but the other two are very good. Michael Jackson, very good as well. Yeah, those are probably like, when it comes to like inspirations in music, I would say them right now.
Any like old singers, like old school, like music that's way older than you, older than us?
The Beatles. I really like the Beatles too. Who else? I like some of Queen. My sister's really into Queen. So I kind of picked up on them because of her. So I like some of their music. And yeah, Michael, of course. The Temptations. I grew up with them. James Brown. Yeah.
So where can we find your music?
Everywhere. I mean, you can get it on Apple Music, Spotify, of course, Amazon, wherever you listen. iTunes if you want to, support my pockets. And buy.
Yeah. Out of everything that you do, what do you like doing the most?
Film hands down. I would drop music in a heartbeat because film is actually what I love to do. I just like the process of making music and everything. Sometimes I forget that I actually put it out there for people to listen to because, to be honest, I really don't see myself being a big musician. If it were to happen, that would be cool. But that's definitely like not my life goal, my dream. My dream is definitely film. So, yeah.
What advice would you want to give out to people who's making music too, and also illustrating books that you're doing now? What advice would you give out for that?
Like for doing those different things?
Yeah, doing different things. Well, yeah, doing the different positions and like managing time, because I don't know how you do all that. There's not enough time in the day to learn how to do all that. But what advice?
I guess like you have to find your why. Like, why are you doing what you do? So the reason why I do music in the first place is because I'm a very creative person. I don't really create for show. It's not for attention to be popular. Of course, any artist would be lying to say like that they don't create for others, because a part of art is you sharing it with people. So I definitely do it for that. But like, I don't know how to phrase it. Basically, what I'm trying to say is like your why is just important. Like, why do you do this? So I do music because when I'm done making a film, I still have like a lot of creative juice in me that needs to get out. So I have life experiences that I want to share. So music is just another way for me to get that stuff out there into the world. So that's why I do that. As far as illustrating the book, that's actually my first love. Before I could do any of this, I could draw. And then I was into art. I did art school every Saturday from 1st grade to 10th grade at CCAD, where I learned the fundamentals of art and everything. So, yeah, it was just a matter of time before I found my way back into drawing and everything. So, yeah.
But now we're just going to wrap this up here. Mm-hmm. Well, I appreciate you taking out time of your busy day to come to be on my podcast. I know we were supposed to do this, but it was just life happening and stuff. But yeah, I wish nothing but success to you, man.
You too.
Hats off to you. You opened up a lot of doors for people, including myself, of getting out of the comfort zone to try acting and stuff, because I've never acted until I was with you.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, I can't wait till the new film Rematch comes out. Can you tell us a little bit about Rematch? Then, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So a part of being a creative, I feel, is stepping outside your comfort zone and, like taking people by surprise. You look at some of the biggest names in the industry. They're big because they didn't stay in their little bubble. They allowed themselves to evolve and try different things, whether they succeeded or not. The Weeknd, you look at his first work to now, it's very different. Miley Cyrus is a big example. She literally was pop, bubblegum pop, and then she did bangers. That was her transition piece. I look at that and I'm inspired. I love that I have work that's very serious and drama focused, but the Match series is special to me because it's showing people that you can't put me in a box, and I can do other things, Rematch is a comedy that definitely is for mature audiences. Yeah, it's funny. It's supposed to be funny. Don't go in there, with a stick up your butt. Like, have fun, laugh.
Did you figure out when the premiere was, or is it going to be a premiere? Do you know?
Yes, there's going to be a live premiere. I don't know exactly when yet. We're shooting for fall. It was going to be next month, but a lot of stuff has popped up and we're just not quite ready. So it's looking like it's going to be fall, November-ish.
Rich.
Yeah.
Okay. But stay tuned for the date, y'all.
Yes, James is playing a really big role in it.
Y'all are up for a surprise.
Yes, you are. You're
Yeah,
not going to recognize this man.
If you're a Christian, you can't go.
Yes. Just stay.
Just stay home. Just stay home. All right. Yeah. Here's the trailer for the new film that's coming out in November, y'all.
Mhm.
That book contains every guy I've come into contact with, including Caleb's friends. Your job is to destroy and conquer.
You ready?
I